Hello everybody, Glitch here. I'm back for another Lycanites equipment combo video, and in this case I've got another wand to show off. It's a little bit different from the last one. It does, well, scepter, but anyhow, it's a little bit different from the last one because it's not really about summoning, but is about basically having an unlimited repetitive attack you can use. So this one is a good with general magic fighting. It also has kind of a little bit more interesting of a melee possibility than the other one. So I'll be going over this and showing off its uses, as I usually do, and also explaining where to get the parts and everything you'll be needing to know about that. Now remember, the blocks you're going to be needing to help yourself out with this include the Lesser Equipment Forge, which takes a crafting table and a wooden axe. You'll add a block of iron to that to get the one in the middle, which is the Greater Equipment Forge. After that, you'll add a diamond to the previous and get yourself the Master Equipment Forge, which is the best and only one out of the forges you'll actually really need, because it can handle all parts at all levels all the time. Although there's still some debate as to how to work this towards the eventual additions it's going to be going, but that's not a big deal right now. The other thing is you'll probably be wanting this equipment infuser to grant yourself the ability to power your equipment up to level 3. As again, I do all my builds at level 3, which is maxed out. Now, that will take a regular Lesser Equipment Forge and surround it with lapis and the crafting table, and you get this. So it helps you use different charges to power up parts, and this little experience bar will help you know how close they are, but they will track the experience independently, so know that that will be a different thing that you don't have to worry about if you've, one interesting thing is you'll actually get different levels based on the kind of enemy you beat, so if you get a special version of one of the mobs you're hunting down, you'll get a level 2 right off the bat, and if there is one coming from a boss, which might eventually happen, they'll always be maxed out at level 3. So you won't have to worry about this with boss parts in the future, because that's already kind of planned to be level 3 right immediately, so no worries there. Now, as for what you're going to be needing, you're going to be needing, for this particular build, a Sylph Wing. Remember, sylphs will be found around structures, especially underground, but also in the ether if you have that mod in your profile. So they're kind of are sacred protectors, and you'll be needing to fight them to get these wings. This adds a couple things. It grants the smited condition on your target, which causes them to burn as long as the condition lasts. It also has an additional ability that it creates an ether wave ring on hit sometimes, which kind of is a burst around you. And it also adds a pommel in addition to a head part. So this base part is a little bit more necessary for this design's overall theme. You'll also be needing a Gin Cloud as a pommel, if you'd like to add that. And those are always up in the air. And I mean that literally, like, way high up. If you're fighting on a mountain, you'll probably find one. Otherwise, just flying around on one of your mounts, you'll probably find them. Again, they're very far up. And occasionally they'll drop their cloud, which you can use as a pommel. It adds levitation to the target and also may summon Jinn. However, because the eventual design of this has a sweep of 0, and the new formula goes by a 5% chance times the times half the sweep, then that means that it probably won't be summoning Jinn. So this design, it's not just aesthetic, it's also for the levitation effect. So that's kind of a different aspect. And you'll also be needing a gold scepter. These are in fact crafted. So, and this one cannot be leveled up any further. It's just as a joint to get your jewel parts on. It will require 4 gold ingots around a wooden hilt, and a wooden hilt is just 3 sticks in a row. So that's not really that expensive. The next thing you'll be needing is a gamma sphere. This is a jewel type, and this comes from wisps, which will spawn in the overworld periodically in well-lit areas. So they might just show up playing light ball with each other. This is one of those balls. So there was a discussion in the Discord for a while of using their balls that they play around with as a jewel, and that has become a thing. Not necessarily the original concepts, but I like how it turned out with the light ball shots. So you can be shooting light orbs around all over the place. And that's part of this design, is going with the orb shots is a big deal. Note it doesn't say summoning with either of these light balls, it's just light ball as primary and secondary use. Now at level 3, I'm not entirely sure if the lesser parts have a secondary use or not. They might. Let me look it up here. Don't mind me looking up Toho here. I'm still getting used to a new mod and figuring out how I'm going to use it later. Okay, if the level 1 has it, then it's probably just levels up the damage each time. So level 1 and level 2 both have that. Often the level 2 and level 3 parts will have abilities the previous ones don't have, and that's kind of where I'm going with level 3s to see something's final form, because eventually you'll be able to level it up all the way. Remember, really you need charges with different aspects to level these up. So for Jin Cloud, that probably means you'll be getting the special projectiles that come from Jin, which I think is whirlwind charges. They have the air aspect. For Sylph Wings, well, basically, whenever you find any part, if the mob itself drops a charge, it's going to be powering up the part. So basically, you'll be getting them probably while you're hunting for the parts anyhow. But you're getting an Ether Wave charge to power up your Sylph Wing, or possibly something else with the Ether element. But I think that's primarily the main one. Remember, this doesn't need an upgrade. Gamma Sphere, I think you can get a special light ball from them as well that also has a light element. I'm not entirely sure on that one. So this one might take some hunting down, and not everything is perfectly together right now. Let me just look up light to see if there's anything else with the light element. Okay. Should also list it under lore. That is a kind of a thing. Lightning. Sorry, that's the wrong element. Light ball charge. Yep, there you go. I thought they had a special light ball. So, yeah. That means that you will be able to level these up all the way to level 3. So, perfectly fine. Now it's time for the ceremonial creation of the weapon and renaming to its proper form before I show it off completely. Now remember, this is meant as a ranged weapon only. It's not really meant for... And for combat. It's not really meant as a tool in the regular way. It's meant as... mainly as a combat expertise type routine. It doesn't really have that much direct damage in attack speed, but overall it will be a little more useful when you see what it can actually do. And so remember, you always need to add in your part, add in your head and or pommel, and add in the thing that goes with the head that it adds, in this case the jewel. So that is the importance of putting that all together like that. And I will also rename it as usual, because this is Solace. That's right, it is the power of light and holiness. So it is Solace, also of the air and sky. So, yeah. Now, I'm trying to think of what I'd like to fight here, because remember, it is combat only. I'm kind of voting Evoker. I'm kind of feeling an Evoker fight. Because they're not as resistant to magic as witches, and their minions could probably be shot down. So let's see here. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling Evoker. So let's deal with them over here, shall we? Oh, I need to eat something too, apparently. Oh well, I'll probably find something soon. Okay. Oh wait, there's Ica. Well, time to show off some of the functions. Cause I need some meat. Sorry, Ica. I know I'm just kind of munching here. You were convenient. Yes, I'm weighted down into the water because the Ica makes you very heavy if you don't have it cooked. But that was fine. I just needed a slight recharge. So the Ica was conveniently scrumptious. There's more things to eat around here. I should have thwonked it. I should have thwonked it for the other effect. I know I should have thwonked it. I'm gonna go thwonk something. Oh wait, there's another one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can actually use it in melee. Oh boy. Bad time for leg spike. Okay. And kind of, because using attack click does one function, using right click does the other. So you have to be really close to actually hit in melee with this thing. Like extra close. Like I'm gonna surprise attack this guy. Yeah, see, he goes off in a flying... Gotcha. Okay, where'd the evoker go? Oh, there you are. Get blasted. Yeah, it deals a lot of range damage at that, so... He did not stand a ghost of a chance. Because again, unlike witches, evokers may be magic, but they are not really resistant to magic. Something that I'm wondering maybe they'll buff them for eventually is grant them the ability to be resistant to magic, because they are a magical mob, so you'd think they'd have some kind of magical armor, but no, not really. So I'm always surprised at that. Why are evokers spellcasters and yet not at all resistant to magic? I've always got that a little bit confused. So it's like logically they should have some kind of resistance. Because they use magic, they should be resistant to magic. And I'm just trying to munch my way up while marching with this thing. So, you know, let's see if I can cook an Ica with it. So I'd like to send it flying, and then maybe nudge it over to the side. It's not out of the water yet. Still not out of the water. I think I obliterated... Yeah. Whether it's the ring or the straight shot, that is awesome. I think I just obliterated a random phantom. I think because the blast seems to kind of damage rake a bit, where it keeps hitting for several hits, and because of that, you can kind of use it to kind of not only strike one enemy, but also some that's maybe behind them, or for that matter, spawn from them. Just like what I did with the with that Reaper there. Well, the food is coming to me. That's good. I kind of had neglected to have something in between episodes, so my demonstrations suddenly have also become a Lycanites foraging festival. So it's showing off the fact that you can scavenge food from all over places. Or rather, harvest. Greatly harvest, yes. So you can forage quite a bit in Lycanites mobs. And this was just random. That wasn't even technically what this is about. This is just me going, I neglected food, an important aspect of the mod. Oh, and by the way, whenever you defeat a higher version, it usually drops more of whatever it does. So that's why I got 4 pieces instead of just like 1 or 2. So Silex meat is, again, usually Lycanites food is best cooked. Just saying. So remember that usually you get bad effects if you have it raw, and good effects if you have it cooked. So it's just kind of a reminder there of please remember to cook your Lycanites food. And let me see here. Can I just bridge my way over? Well, I didn't have penetration on at the time, so I should be fine. Anyhow, the big deal with Solace is apparently quite a great magical scepter that you'll probably be using for ranged combat, and because of the burst mode you can go with, you can hit several enemies around you, especially if they just happen to be kind of trying to overcrowd you. And you can also thwack them for a, well, have a burning rise. Yeah, the launch and burn. Uh, hey, does that count as a test burn for a rocket if you fling an enemy upward and on fire? Just thought of that. Oh well. Anyhow, thank you very much. Hope to hear from you all later. And bye for now, everybody. Wrong thing. There we go. Well, at least you can go out seeing the various ways that it looks. So, all's well that ends well. Hey, what is it? What is up on my buttons today? Okay, anyhow. Goodbye for now. Thank you.